welcome. Today I'm introducing you to Stephen Moleski.
Hi guys.
He is one of my makeup idols.
Aww.
Yeah, I remember the first time I met you, I had done research because I'm a little bit obsessed with Kim Kardashian, and I'd done some research on who her makeup artist was. And we were both working on X Factor, and I'd heard all these rumors of like a celebrity makeup artist coming, and they were working for Mel B, and Mel B was working so hard to get him over here. And I heard all these rumors. That. Yeah, I remember. And I was like so excited. I didn't know who it was. And I walked past the dressing room and I saw you in there and I lost my shit. And then I met you in the studio and you were like, "Hi, I'm Stephen." And I was like, "I know who you are." And he was like, "Okay, cool."
I'm probably jet lagged. But I also, see, the thing is that, like, it's so weird to be considered an idol. You know, Kevin Kwan was my idol.
Yeah.
And so now, like, to have people be like, I don't think of myself as a Kevin Kwan, but I have, like, I'm doing the same path.
Well, I think, like, you were, like, the first person. The reason why I discovered you is because you were doing, like, a tutorial with Kim on YouTube.
Yeah.
And that was probably the first one I'd ever seen. I
never took advantage of it because I never saw it, because Kim was like, "We're gonna do makeovers or makeup," and I'm like, okay. And I showed up at the house and dude, it was so raw of how we did it.
The reason why that video stuck in my mind though is because you were so honest about products you're using, how you use it. There wasn't any, like, it wasn't sponsored, it wasn't any of that.
It was raw. It was the original.
Yeah. There was no shortcuts.
Whenever I do my tutorials now, I'm like, okay, well, what's achievable? Like, no, you're not going to use 9 different eyeshadows. I might. You're not going to use 16 eye products.
You do. I remember Sarah saying you use 9 foundations on a celebrity, and I was like, oh my god, that's why it looks so different when you did it. It was like so different.
I'd go from the foundation to even out the skin, and then I go in and cut the brows in, then I proportion the cheekbones, and then I go back and forth from the contour to the foundation to before I set it to make everything balanced. And it usually comes together in the last like 5 minutes of my makeup that it's like bam.
Perfect. Yeah. So do you think that's your artistic style? Like, is that what's different for you? Color
tones, the proportioning, all the things that like go back to 2D art and 3D art. That makes sense of why it aesthetically is pleasing, because I'm not an editorial makeup artist. I'm not anything other than I'm a celebrity makeup artist, and I define it more as I'm really good at taking anyone's facial structure and enhancing it the best way possible for them on a daily basis.
I think that's what makes you a really great artist. Is I do notice with a lot of artists that are either self-taught or they've done, you know, like a 6-week course, they get taught the makeup and they go, this is how you do the makeup. But with you, you actually look at a face and you go, okay, this is their eye shape, this is what's going to suit them, these are the tones. Like, you actually personalize every single makeup. It's not like just this is how you do makeup.
Yeah, I don't do paint by numbers. I'll use like 2 different foundations, 4 different concealers, because I'll have matte concealers, illuminating concealers. You know, I have like 4 different powders, and then I have...
You can't rip him off, is the moral of the story.
Yeah. In all honesty, to get a makeup application like a celebrity makeup artist or an artist of our caliber, and with our skills, you really use a lot of different products because in the end it really transforms the face. So
what are the main tools that you can't live without, tools and makeup products?
Okay, well, outside of my core brushes, which there's variants and it's so hard to name them, I have my beauty blenders, the Pro and the Mini A, can't live without those. My NARS powders. NARS powders, loose powders are amazing. Beaches is my favorite universally for Caucasians and African Americans for different reasons. I can't live without my Eva Pearl mattifying powder. Amazing. Eva Pearl, you gotta check it out. Those are great. Eva Pearl, the Anastasia brow defining pencils. And my Finisher lip balm is like, I put it on almost every single person because it's an amazing formulation that preps the lips and gets them super conditioned, and there's nothing like it out there. My lashes, Smoke and Mirrors Beauty. What
would your advice be to new makeup artists? How do you brand yourself?
Well, I mean, working with Kim Kardashian, the one thing I take from that time, and that even 6-7 years later, we've worked on and off, but it's been about 6-7 years since we've been, like, I was our personal makeup artist. But I took from the whole family and Kris Jenner, just really monopolizing on opportunities of things that you have passion for. Because of Kris Jenner, I started the lash line.
Wow, so it was just like inspired by that.
Well, it was inspired by, you know, whenever Kim and everybody was branding and always having these opportunities, Kris, I think one day in the chair, she was like, you really need a product. It made sense that lashes that I had been using and cutting and pasting and doing with the Pussycat Dolls, or, you know, Pia Toscana, or any of the girls next door, I was doing lashes, and I would buy hundreds of pairs of lashes a week, or, you know, to do different things. And finally it was like, that's the easiest thing for me to segue as a first product. And now, you know, I've got a lot of opportunities, and I've branded myself as, there's a lot of makeup artists that do what I do, but I think that my makeup really has a dimension to it. Yeah. And it doesn't look like it's a mask on the face, where sometimes
I think it's always personalized. Like, it looks like the best version of that person.
Yeah.
You know, there's makeup artists where it's like they do the same makeup over and over and over again. So you look at someone's face and you go, oh, that's so and so. With yours, you don't have that. It's just like, oh my god,
she looks amazing.
Mel B looks amazing.
Well, my MO with makeup is to make you look like you don't have makeup on.
Yeah. We have a few questions from Facebook. So I had one from Angela Bradley.
Okay.
She was asking, cream or powder contouring?
Are we doing professional or are we doing personal?
Well, I think this is personal, because I think a lot of the people that are inspired by Instagram, that makeup is really big at the moment. And
personally have a two-step. If you're going, before you contour, you should always highlight. Highlighting is any woman, I believe, that's over the age of 25, and, you know, some of these younger teens, like, you can tell that they look a lot more mature. I have Olivia, who's a 13-year-old model of mine, and if I put any contour on her, she looks like she's 25. Yeah. And that's, you know, a contour is going to age you. So I always tell anyone, if they're trying to look young, to highlight beforehand. It also looks more pleasing to the face. It's softer and more brighter. But if you're gonna contour, your beginning steps would be powder. It's a lot more forgiving. If you know how to contour properly, then I would, you know, do the cheek contour, a little bit of the jawline with cream, like just a little brush of it along like a line and blending it out. The cheeks and the jawline just across the tip here, like how I have a beard. If you do the reverse on a woman, like put a little dark here, just a little bit, it'll get rid of that double chin. That's a good technique to start out with. But I would say powders first, then cream. And the forehead contour is great whenever you have professional pictures being done. But whenever these women walk around with the forehead contour and cream, or too much powder, it just looks messy. Just
do it in really, 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 really natural light.
Yeah, do it in natural light, and don't use a bronzer that has any shimmer. Galactic, Cabo, and Casablanca. Casablanca's for much darker women, but Cabo is my ultimate favorite Caucasian bronzer, because you can really put it on and it's gonna give you good tone and definition, but it's like a 2-in-1. So Galactic bronzer in Cabo is probably what I would say everyone go and get to really practice the contouring effect.
One from Queen Bailosis. What is your least favorite part of the industry?
The hardest thing for me, and this goes back to the Kim thing, and being honest, is that it's a cutthroat industry. Whenever I was with Kim and everybody thought, oh my god, you're with Kim, you're with this big person. They thought that, like, whenever we stopped working together, that my career was gone. And that I was fired, and that, or that this or that, and it was like, I got married. I was going on with my own life. I was starting to work with Mel B. I had my own things going. Lives went separately, and I think that it's just that the industry is so based on who you are and who you're attached to, and they forget that it's not a popularity game. Like, it's just like a lot of people are just like, well, what happened? I'm like, nothing happened. It's called it's called life. It's the whole, like, who you're doing and what you're doing defines you so much. That's the only thing I really, it's kind of cruel that way. But
And people are really competitive.
Really competitive and really, you know, cutthroat. But like, I mean, I have people, I always learned is that the bigger you get, the more cockroaches you find.
Totally.
Because your people are always wanting to feed, or wanting to feed off you and wanting to, you know, get a piece of you, and you just gotta stay strong. And like my dad said, never lose your character. Yeah. And my character stayed the same.
That's really good advice.
My character since day one has stayed the same.
Yeah. Always be nice to everyone.
Yeah.
What is the best career advice you've ever received?
So the best career advice would be probably from my first boss. I was newbie into makeup, 99, 2000 at Dawn Shaw hair salon in Atlanta, Georgia. And I did this makeup and I thought it was amazing. We're gearing up to go to New York for this fashion show and he wanted to see what I was gonna do. Yeah. And I did it. And he took that makeup and he was like, this eye is different from this eye, and this brow needs to be this and this and this. And I just looked and he said, practice until it's perfect and then practice some more. I happened to go to New York about 2 months later and I was doing a photo shoot, and my boss knew how much I was obsessed with Kevin Kwan, and Kevin Kwan was in the mix of their circle and like whatnot. And we had gone to dinner the night before and talked to somebody that was associated with him, friends with him. And then the next day of the shoot, I'm doing the model's makeup, and walks Kevin Kwan. And the only thing he said, he goes, good foundation technique. And I like about lost it. I was like on cloud nine. Yeah. The honest truth is I got a job in a strip club in Atlanta, and I would do the girls and do their makeup and like knocking out like 8 to 10 makeups in like a 4-hour period of time, so I could make a lot of money. But I started doing Asian girls, black girls, all these different skin types, and perfecting it. And then, you know, it also built the ability to do a lot of girls at one time. The girls next door, the Kardashians, Pussycat dolls. Like I could always do a large volume of girls. The thing also, like with what I find is that whenever you really, what I consider a makeup artist is not someone that can do makeup. It's when they can get thrown into a position where there is a really unbelievable situation, an unideal situation, something really messes up and you make the most out of it, and that error never happened. I think you did Mel's makeup in a car once. I did Kris Jenner's makeup one time on a bus going up the side of a mountain in the dark, and it looked amazing. This question's actually from my mama. Hi, Mom. Hi, Mom. Your mom, not my mom. Yeah. My mom's watching this too. Your mom too? Hi, Mom. So my mom wanted to know, are there any tips you picked up from makeup artists of the past, like 1950s people? People of the past that have inspired me. I'm obsessed with Marilyn Monroe. My dog's name's Monroe. Her highlight, like the way that her face is sculpted, her brows are sculpted. She's very like Katie. She's a very girl next door. Doesn't have that glamour, but has the beauty. Yeah. So whenever she has the red lips on and she has the highlights and her brows are done, she turns into that glamour. Even if I'm putting a really, really amazing smoky eye on that's very dramatic, that the makeup is timeless. It enhances them. It doesn't ever look like there's a mask or plasticky on their face. And it's not your signature makeup. It's them. Yeah, I mean, I'm known as the king of the smoky eye, thanks to Kim, and I've got, you know, the king of contour, whatever. I just think that my techniques are solid techniques that transcend on anyone's face. Yes. Most people are like, you're still 17 years into it and you get excited about a certain pair of lashes or about a contour or about like what the makeup looks like or how it's coming out. Yeah. And it's really like, I love what I do. Totally, I feel you. And that's why sometimes I get upset whenever someone devalues an artist for what they are, is because you're really giving a part of yourself, or at least that's what I'm doing. Yeah. I'm giving a part of myself. You're touching someone, you're touching the face, you're transferring energy to the person. There's a lot of people that might be great artists, but they're not good people. Energy is so important. Like, you know, people that are... It's Australia. People that are really nervous, like, you can't discount being calm and like speaking to them in a calm way, and your energy being positive all the time. Someone's having a bad day, I'm there to nurture them, so they're making them feel better. I'm there, whether it's, you know, knowing them enough, personal makeup artists, like to find what makes them tick, what makes them calm, what makes them happy. That's where the psychology comes into it, is that you really need to be the yang to the yin. And you do have to remember, like, whatever you're thinking,
does translate. Like
Yes.
it comes through.
Yeah.
So you need to try and be positive, even if you're personally going through something stressful.
I love the serenity prayer. I say it in my head all the time. I'm like, if something's stressing me out or there's something that's going like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I've heard it many times, but Kevin Aquan, whenever he would do makeup and he would do big celebrities for the first time, he would say the serenity prayer. I'm hired to do a certain job. If I can do the best I can do, and if someone's not happy with it, they're having a bad day, I can't do anything about it. And whatever transpires. But you know, leaving the job, leaving the moment with doing your best every single time. And being happy with yourself.
Yeah. It's hard to keep happy with yourself in such a hard industry. It's thankless. You're not gonna get, if you're doing celebrities and people that because they've got a lot going on, like that's not something that's not something that's their priority. It's nothing personal.
No,
it's not about you.
It's not about you. Like they won't say thank you to you, but they'll take a picture of you.
They tag you, that's the thing.
Well, or not even, sometimes there's clients that they just put loving my whatever look. And that's enough to go, you know what? They aren't the person to tag, or they aren't the person to do this, but I know that they liked it because they took a picture of it.
Totally.
Or it's even better, like, you know, where the person will tag me in it and thank me. That's where I'm like, wow, that's way above what I ever expected. I'm happy whenever I walk out the door going, I did my best. Drop, mic drop, move on. Brush drop, that is the job. I killed it. I did my best, and wherever it goes from there, it can go. Because I've done a lot of makeups where I was so happy with them, and I got nothing from it. So
do you think it's more like if a girl had to choose, like she didn't have the biggest budget, if she could either spend money on brushes or makeup, which one do you think?
It's a toss-up. I think that you need to have your core brushes be high quality and do their job, and finding that one that works with the products the right way and your own skin.
Totally.
And having like 10 good brushes for a professional, you can get away with probably 5 brushes. But yeah, definitely the brushes are an investment, but I still have brushes that look just like I got them 15 years ago. So they're definitely, I mean, they pay for themselves over the course of time. Your core tools, like your eyelash curlers and stuff like that, spend a little bit more money on them before spending a higher product or quality product, because how you apply the product is 50%, 60% of what the actual end result's gonna be. It's not so much the foundations or the eyeshadows.
I think it's important with foundation colors, like sometimes it's not as easy to get a good color in the cheaper brands.
I believe that, but I think even in the higher brands, I can't tell you one time that I don't mix 2 foundations at least.
Me too.
And I go, and almost every single person, like even NARS, I love NARS, I'm obsessed with NARS, and I use NARS on so many clients, but I'll take the same tone, their warm tone and their cool tone, and mix them together on almost every single client. Thanks for asking me to do this.
Thanks for coming all the way from America, just for me.
America, anything for you. We're gonna go to the beach now.
We're gonna go to the beach because it's really, really hot, and you're gonna put a crystal in the ocean.
I'm gonna give it a little bit of Australian energy. You're supposed to like put it out in the sun or put it in, give it like charge it. So I'm gonna charge it in Bondi. Or where's the beach we're going?
Little Bay.
Little Bay. It's in Australia.
It's in Australia.
Australia.
It's really pretty. Australia. Okay, thanks so much for coming. Thanks guys for the questions, and we'll see you soon.
Oh, check out my YouTube, Stephen Moleski.
Oh yeah.
Stephen Moleski Instagram, Twitter.
And if you're on his channel, check out mine. It's Katie Klukas.
Yeah.
I'll put our channels below, and I'll also put like our Instagrams.
Yeah.
Right now.
It's been fun. It's the first time I've been in a bed with a woman in a long time. It was fun.
I'm seductive like that.
Bye guys.